If you've recently purchased or rented an e-Beach Wagon Gen-2, then this video will serve as your quick startup guide. It's not everything that's covered in the owner's manual, but it's enough to get you going. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's first go over the control panel on the wagon. On the right side, you have your power on-off button. So you have to press the button to turn the power on to the wagon, and then the light will turn on. This is your charging port where you can charge the wagon while the battery is still plugged into the wagon. And this is your USB charging ports where you can charge your cell phone on the beach. You just have to make sure the power is on, and then this power button needs to be pressed to make sure that the light is lit to indicate that you can get power to your phone. After the power is turned on the control panel, then you have to hit the power button here on the LCD. You press and hold the power button until the welcome turns on, and then you'll see the display where it shows your gear right here in the lower left hand corner, your odometer in the lower right hand corner, the battery indicator top right, and your speed. You have 5 different speed settings, and you change that by going plus all the way up to 5 or minus all the way down to 1. 1 being the slowest speed, around 1.2 miles an hour, and 5 being the fastest speed, around 4 miles an hour. This here is your forward reverse switch. Down is forward. You press the throttle and it starts moving. And then up is reverse. Press the throttle and it starts moving. There are 2 ways to put the wagon into neutral. The first way I'll show you is right here with the forward reverse switch. In the middle here is your neutral gear. Down is forward, in the middle is neutral, and up is reverse. So you put it into neutral. However, the brakes are still engaged, so you can't move the wagon. To disengage the brake, you press down on the throttle, and now you can push or pull the wagon in manual mode. The other way to put it in neutral is to access the motor enclosure box from beneath the wagon. Simply remove the wagon bed, unscrew your thumb screw to the motor box cover, and then you'll see the yellow lever here. Right now the wagon is locked, the brakes are engaged. But if I lift up on that lever till it clicks, now I can move the wagon in neutral. Now we get a lot of questions about if you can tow the wagon with the back wheels on the ground. It is possible to tow this wagon, however, you should not exceed 5 miles an hour. When these tires move, it's still connected to the drive axle, which creates current that could damage the controller if you go too fast. Always remember to push the lever back down so that the brakes are engaged, or else you'll receive an error message on the LCD screen. One of our differentiators is the built-in pole holders in the frame. It makes it really easy to set up your umbrella when you're at the beach. Simply remove the railing, put your umbrella through the hole, pound it into the sand, and you're all set. Now to make it a little bit more secure, you can dig a hole in the sand, put the umbrella down in the hole and fill the hole back in, or we sell umbrella clamps that you can clamp right underneath the frame here to keep the umbrella from lifting up on windy days. I'll provide the link to the umbrella clips on our website in the description below. In the top right hand corner is your battery indicator. Now to prolong the life of your battery, you don't want to regularly run this down below 20%. So you want to charge it before it gets down to 20%. And it's okay, it's not going to do any damage to the battery if you charge it at 90 or 70 or 60. You can charge it as many times as you want. And I'll go over 2 ways to charge the battery. When charging your wagon, you want to make sure that you have the right charger. It's pretty easy to tell which charger is ours because we have a very unique plug that plugs into the ports in our wagon. The first way to charge your wagon is to do it from the control panel. You want to make sure that the wagon is turned off. So go ahead and turn the power to the wagon off, and then unscrew the cap to the charging port. And then you'll see there's 2 big holes on top to receive the 2 big holes on the charger. And then there's a blue twist knob. You'll see on here there's a unlock up counterclockwise and lock clockwise. So to plug this into the charging port, first you have to twist counterclockwise to unlock that and then plug it in. Now just to note, once the charger is plugged into your power source, the green light will turn on. And let's go ahead and twist the knob and then plug it in. And then to lock it, you twist it clockwise until it's locked. And now you'll see that the charging light turns red. If you don't have an electrical outlet where you store your wagon, it's okay, because now you can remove the battery to bring the battery closer to a power source. To do that, you want to loosen these thumb screws just enough so that you can rotate this bracket 180 degrees to get it off of the battery. And I've done that on the other side as well. Then to remove the plug, you turn this blue knob counterclockwise and pull out. Then you can go ahead with two hands and remove the battery pack. Then to plug the charger into the battery, you want to line up the two prongs with the two prongs on the female adapter here. Turn this counterclockwise, line the prongs up, and then push in, and then lock it by turning clockwise. And now you can see that the charger is charging because the indicator light here has turned red. This indicator light should change from red to green when the battery is done charging. However, in the chance that something malfunctions, you always want to unplug your battery charger after 12 hours if the red light has not turned to green. The wagon is weather resistant, but it is not waterproof, so it's okay to get caught out in the rain. However, we don't recommend running it through standing water that would be deep enough to get in the crevices of this motorbox. The motorbox is not watertight, but it is weatherproof. And if you experience a flood or you drive it into the pool or the ocean for some reason, water may get into this motorbox. We provided a drain hole on the bottom of this motorbox so you can drain the motorbox if necessary, if water gets in there. Obviously the wagon would have to be on all four wheels, and you remove this little rubber plug and then the water would drain out. That's important because there are sensitive components inside of here that you don't want to have salt water sitting inside the motorbox. Just a couple final points before we wrap up. The handle is removable in case you want to transport the wagon. Underneath is a plug. You just push the button on the plug and pull out, and then release the pin to remove the handle, and then opposite, putting it back in. We plug that plug in the same way, and you have to push it together until it clicks. And you'll hear a little click there. And finally, with your wheelies wheels, the pressure needs to be in between 2 and 4 psi. You want to make sure that you don't overinflate the wheels. We have another video that's referenced in the description of this video below that shows you how to read the pressure and also inflate your tires properly. Well, that's about it for this instructional video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and check out the owner's manual. There's a lot more useful information in there.